The Safavid dynasty, after 2 centuries of glory, collapsed in the early 1700s, weakened by poor leadership and internal decay. In 1722, Ghilzai Afghans under Mahmud Hotak besieged Isfahan, starving the city into surrender and ending Safavid rule. Iran descended into chaos, carved up by warlords and foreign invaders. Amid this turmoil, a brilliant commander emerged, Nader Qoli Beg of the Afshar tribe. Nader, a man of humble origins, built his reputation as a ruthless and innovative military leader. He rallied tribal warriors, pledged nominal loyalty to the Safavid heir, but quickly became the real power. Nader's campaigns were swift and brutal. He crushed the Afghans, reclaimed Isfahan, and began reuniting Iran. By 1729, he had driven out the invaders and restored Iranian pride. Nader was no longer just a general, he was the master of Iran, and his ambition was only beginning. The stage was set for a new era, one defined by conquest, terror, and the rise of a warlord who would change Iran forever. The Golden Age was over, a new, harsher order had begun. Iran's fate now rested in the hands of Nader. With the Afghans defeated, Nader seized the throne in 1736, founding the Afsharid dynasty. He was a conqueror, not a peacemaker. His armies reclaimed lost lands and struck fear across the region. Nader's most audacious act was the 1739 invasion of India, where he crushed the Mughal army at Karnal and sacked Delhi. The loot was legendary: the Peacock Throne, the Koh-i-Noor diamond, and enough treasure to suspend taxes for years. But the wealth brought no peace. Nader's paranoia grew. He imposed crushing taxes, turned on his own family, and ruled by terror. He blinded his own son, alienated his commanders, and became a figure of fear. The hero who saved Iran became its tormentor. His reign spiraled into violence and suspicion, setting the stage for his downfall. In 1747, betrayed by his own officers, Nader Shah was assassinated. His death plunged Iran back into chaos, and his empire quickly unraveled. The age of conquest ended in blood and betrayal. Iran was left searching for stability once more. After Nader's death, Iran fractured again, until Karim Khan of the Zand tribe rose from the chaos. Unlike his predecessors, Karim Khan ruled with humility and compassion, calling himself regent of the people instead of Shah. He made Shiraz his capital, fostering peace, prosperity, and beautiful architecture. Karim Khan's reign was a rare period of justice and stability, a respite from decades of war. He lightened taxes, promoted trade, and cared for his subjects, but his dynasty depended entirely on his leadership. After his death in 1779, the Zand state quickly fell into infighting. Latif Ali Khan, the last Zand prince, fought valiantly but was defeated and executed by the rising Qajars. The humane Zand era ended in tragedy, and Iran braced for another wave of brutality. The brief peace was over. A new power was on the horizon. The Qajars would soon dominate Iran's fate. Agha Muhammad Khan, scarred by childhood cruelty, emerged as the ruthless founder of the Qajar dynasty. He unified Iran through terror, crushing rivals with unmatched brutality. His most infamous act, the 1794 sack of Kerman, where thousands were blinded or killed as a warning to all. He then turned north, sacking Tbilisi and reasserting Iranian dominance in the Caucasus. In 1796, he was crowned Shah in Tehran, but his reign was short-lived. Assassinated by his own servants in 1797, he left behind a unified but traumatized nation. Agha Muhammad Khan's legacy was one of fear and violence, setting a grim tone for Qajar rule. Iran was whole again, but at a terrible cost. The scars of his cruelty would haunt the country for generations. The Qajar dynasty was born in blood. Iran's future was now tied to the ambitions and failures of its new rulers. Fath Ali Shah, more famous for his beard than his leadership, ruled as Iran became a pawn between Russia and Britain. The great game began, with Iran caught in the crossfire of imperial ambitions. Russia's relentless advance led to 2 disastrous wars, ending in the humiliating treaties of Golistan and Turkmenchay. Iran lost vast territories in the Caucasus, paid heavy indemnities, and saw its sovereignty eroded by foreign privileges. The country was left weakened, divided, and dependent. Muhammad Shah's attempts to reclaim Herat failed under British pressure, exposing Iran's impotence. Iran was no longer master of its destiny, but a pawn in global power struggles. The Qajar state struggled to survive, battered by foreign threats and internal decay. The dream of a strong, independent Iran seemed more distant than ever. The 19th century brought humiliation and loss, but new forces were stirring beneath the surface. Nasser al-Din Shah's 50-year reign saw Iran at a crossroads between tradition and modernity. His chief minister, Amir Kabir, launched bold reforms: modern schools, fairer taxes, and new industries, but court intrigue doomed Amir Kabir. He was dismissed and executed, halting real reform. Nasser al-Din Shah traveled to Europe, fascinated by Western technology and culture. He introduced photography, the telegraph, and plans for railways, but progress was piecemeal and often funded by selling concessions to foreigners. The seeds of change were planted, but resistance from the elite and reliance on foreign money stunted true modernization. Iran's rulers flirted with progress, but old habits and foreign influence held the country back. The promise of reform faded, replaced by superficial change. The monarchy's grip weakened as new ideas spread. Iran was awakening, but the path forward was uncertain. The struggle between old and new would soon erupt. To fund his projects, Nasser al-Din Shah sold economic concessions to Europeans, angering Iranians. The 1890 tobacco concession, granting a British monopoly, sparked nationwide outrage. Merchants, intellectuals, and the Shia clergy united in protest, leading to a mass boycott. The movement's turning point came when a senior cleric declared tobacco use forbidden, a fatwa obeyed across the country. The boycott crippled the industry, forcing the Shah to cancel the concession. The tobacco protest was Iran's first successful mass movement, proving the power of popular resistance. But the monarchy's legitimacy was shattered. In 1896, Nasser al-Din Shah was assassinated, ending an era. Iran stood on the brink of revolution, nationalism, and change. The old order was dying, a new age was dawning. The struggle for Iran's future had only just begun. The story of modern Iran was about to enter its most turbulent chapter.